So let us talk about computer forensics today. And what is computer forensics? This forensic computing is the process of identifying, first of all, identifying, then preserving, analyzing, and presenting digital evidence in a manner that is legally acceptable. So evidence might be required for a wide range of computer crimes and misuses because everything is on computer right now, and there are good people also, there are bad people also. So for that we need some evidence, and information collected assist in arrest, prosecution, termination of employment, and preventing future illegal activity. What are the characteristics? As I just suggested, that starts from identifying, then preserving, then analyzing, and then presenting. Why we need this computer forensics? What is the requirement? So to produce evidence in the code that can lead to the punishment of the actual, and to ensure the integrity of the computer system, and to focus on the response to high-tech offenses started to intervene or taking place. Uh, if we go back few years, it began to evolve more than 30 years ago in United States when law enforcement and military investigators started seeing criminals get technical. So over the next decades and up to today, the field has exploded. There are so many people who are into it. So law enforcement and the military continue to have a large presence in the information security and computer forensic field at the local, state, and federal level. So nowadays, software companies continue to produce newer and more robust forensic software programs, and law enforcement and military continue to identify and train more and more of their personnel in response to the crime which involves the technology. And I'm not just talking about computer science; it's the whole technology which is underlying computer science or computer systems. So what is the goal of computer forensics? The main goal of computer forensic expert is not only to find the criminal, but also to find out the evidence and the presentation of the evidence in the manner that leads to legal action of the criminal. Again, legal prosecution if it is possible, then it is worth. Then cybercrime occurs when information technology is used to commit or conceal or an offense. Now, this is a cybercrime. A crime, you might be knowing what is a crime in normal society or life. You might have heard about it a lot. But what are cyber crimes? These cyber crimes, they occur when this information technology, the way I'm saying computer science also, this is used to commit or conceal an offense. There are various types of cybercrime like forgery, breach of computer security, fraud or theft, copyright violations, identity theft and threats, burglary, homicide, and administrative investigations, or cyber terrorism, sales and investment fraud, this electronic fund transfer fraud. All these things, they come under cybercrime. These are the most common method of access. These were the traditional method, like lost or stolen wallets. Now we have data breach online, right? And these things are increasing. Also, these are stolen paper mail, friendly theft, or while conducting a transaction. These are also increasing. These were all traditional method, but this area is what I'm suggesting is the actual area where we are talking where we are concerning today. These are the top 20 countries where cybercrime is most. You see, United States of America, it's the highest, 23%, and all other countries are this. There are various countries. All these countries, the names are well known to us, and this India, the cybercrime is 3%. The evidence is an item does not become officially a piece of evidence until a court admits it, because things are not available, they cannot be seen, they cannot be touched. And much of the forensics practice concern how to collect, preserve, and analyze these items without compromising the potential to be admitted as evidence in a court of law. What is the digital evidence? Because in cybercrime, we need digital evidence. So, any data that is recorded or preserved in any medium or by a computer system or other similar device that can be read or understood by a person or a computer system or other similar device. So, it includes a display, printout, or other output of that data. These are the types of digital evidences. First of all, we have persistent data, mean that data that remain intact when the computer is turned off. For example, the data on the hard drive, disk drive, or USBs or flash drives. While in the volatile data, meaning that the data which get lost if the computer is turned off. Example, deleted file, computer history, computer's registry, and temporary file and web browsing history. These are the rules of evidences, five rules of evidences. First, it has to be admissible, means must be able to use in court or elsewhere. It has to be authentic. Evidence relates to the incident in a relevant way. It has to be complete, no tunnel vision. But that means exculpatory evidence of alternative suspects, but reliable, no question about the authenticity and veracity, and believable, that means clear, easy to understand, and believable by the court jury. So these are the 10 location for evidences. You have internet history files, temporary internet files, Slack or unallocated space, buddy lists, personal chat rooms, record the saved areas, news groups, club lists, posting, setting folders, structure, file names, file storage, dates, software and hardware added, file sharing ability, and emails. All these you have been using every day almost. So be aware that where if something happens like this, these things are the location for the evidences. And what are the methodology? Shut down the computer first of all, document the hardware configuration of the system, transport the computer system to a secure location, make bit stream backups of your hard disk and floppy disk or any other drive. Floppy disks are not in use. So mathematically verify data on all storage devices, then document the system date and time and make a list of key search words. Then evaluate the Windows swap file, evaluation the file slack, evaluate unallocated spaces, search file slack and unallocated space for keywords, document file names, date and time, identify file program storage anomalies, evaluate the program functionality, and document your findings. These are the applications of what we are trying to understand today. First of all, financial fraud detection, criminal prosecution, civil litigation, and corporate security policy and violations. So, who uses computer forensics? Criminal prosecutors, they rely on evidence obtained from a computer to prosecute suspects and use as evidence. Civil litigations means personal or business data discovered on a computer can be used in fraud, harassment, or discrimination cases. Then private corporations obtain evidence from employee computers that can be used as evidence in harassment, fraud, or embezzlement cases. And law enforcement officials means rely on computer forensics to back up search warrants and post seizure handling. And individual private citizens obtain the service of professional computer forensics specialists to support claims of harassment, abuse, and wrongful termination from the employment. So, what are the skills which are required for becoming a computer forensic, or what a computer forensic person should have? Programming and computer related experience, broad understanding of OS and applications, strong analytical skills, strong computer science fundamental, strong system administrative skills, knowledge of latest intuitive tools, and knowledge of cryptography and steganography, and strong understanding of the rules of evidence and evidence handling, and ability to be an expert witness in a court of law. So, with computers becoming more and more involved in our everyday life, both professionally and socially, there is a need for computer forensics, and this field will enable crucial electronic evidence to be found, whether it was lost, deleted, damaged, or hidden, and used to prosecute the individuals that believe they have successfully beaten the system. Nobody, no one is above law. That has to be understood. Thank you so much. Take care.